Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game SO Technical series on the MiSTer FPGA DE10 Nano project, and we're just having some fun this evening because a new version of Radiant Silvergun is here called Radiant Silvergun Extra. This model was developed by Alex Trap15 Marshall, and it basically takes the Sega Saturn version and adds a whole new host of feature scoring modes, kind of bringing it up to more modern day port status. So if you like Radiant Silvergun or Shmups, there's a brand new version to play on Sega Saturn, and that is definitely something to celebrate and talk about in a video. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Definitely helps us out. If you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But I tested this both on real Sega Saturn hardware with my Saru flash card as well as MiSTer FPGA, and I did check just to make sure it booted on software emulation and MedDefend, and it worked perfectly fine across all three sources. So however you want to play this game, you absolutely can, but I figured we'd do a little MiSTer FPGA fun today. And if you've never played Radiant Silvergun before, it is an absolute 10 out of 10 difficult shmup that is one of the games that's so synonymous with the Sega Saturn, and real copies will definitely cost you a pretty penny these days. And it's a game that's always fun to test on Saturn as well, because for the longest time it had some freezing issues at the beginning of the game that have definitely been ironed out. So that's definitely awesome to see. Now, as far as the extra patch is concerned, it's just more Radiant Silvergun for your money. You're going to get new scoring modes, including one that brings it more in line with Ikaruga's chaining, and it's going to give you the ability to have invincibility on, different shot mechanics, and a whole host of other features. But it really is at its heart Radiant Silvergun, how you know, love, and remember it, or know, love, and hate it, because I know some people think this game is just absolutely difficult, and I'm not going to lie and say it's an easy shmup whatsoever. It is a 10 out of 10 difficult game, even if it's not a bullet hell in my opinion. But that is where a lot of the fun in this lies. It's just such a classic shmup, and it's so fun to see fans putting in new features that bring it more in line with modern ports. So if you want to play this, absolutely you can. Now, if we pop into the options menu, you're going to see a brand new menu, Options Plus. This is going to give you a stage select. It's going to let you change the game speed, the look hit area, the player speed, invincibility on or off, the scoring type, as well as the shot count. So you can go for the standard scoring mechanic, you can do Ikaruga, or you can do special, which is a combination of both of these. So this is going to give you two brand new ways to play the game if scoring is something you really look at in shmups. For me, honestly, just getting to the end without running out of lives is good enough, but for people that really get into these games, this is amazing. And the most interesting thing is this modification also works for Sega Titan video cartridges. You'd have to burn a ROM and socket it into the cart in and of itself, but this went the extra mile by making both the patch for the Sega Saturn version as well as Sega Titan video, and that really makes me wonder if SRG320 has any plans towards the end of the core to make the Sega Titan video games play on the core, because outside of the delivery medium cartridge versus CD, it is basically one-to-one identical hardware using Saturn hardware in the arcade. And you will see here I am definitely starting to take some more deaths, and that is because you really need to learn Radiant Silvergun, understand what it expects of you, and just try to improve. You're not going to see the ending of this game on your first, second, probably even 10th attempt. It's going to take you multiple hours to learn this game, what it's asking of you, and how to get better at it before you're ever going to be able to actually beat it. But that is a ton of fun when it comes to things like shmups. That ability to learn the mechanical system and go from there just really is fun. And the best part is on MiSTer FPGA, you can hook it up to your HDMI television, get amazing scaling, and have a gameplay experience that seems to be one-to-one with real Sega Saturn hardware without having to have a console and an exceedingly expensive copy of this game. And this is why I love featuring videos like this so much. The fan community out there takes it upon themselves to continue to make new and interesting things for games that we all remember. Radiant Silvergun is just that good, and the best part is not only is it a fun game, it has a spectacular soundtrack. So go ahead and listen, I'll be right back, tell you more about the mod and why you should play it. Radiant Silvergun's always had an epic soundtrack, and it sounds absolutely spectacular coming out of MiSTer FPGA. Especially if you have the 2.5V RAM modules, you should be getting a lot better performance, especially on the audio side, with the most recent version of the core added to update all. And my favorite part is this just has an absolutely epic FMV intro cut sequence at the beginning of the game. Sure, it's in Japanese, and you're not really going to be able to understand the story, but I love the animation style. I love what they did with the game, and just kind of how they presented it before they actually get you into the main gameplay mechanic. I just love this era of FMV videos, and tell me down below if you're into it or if it's just something you're not, because if you didn't grow up with FMV in your games, maybe it isn't something you're excited about. Now, additionally, this game is also going to give you a two-shot mode that's going to limit the amount of weapons, getting you closer in line with the Sega Titan Video version of this game. Because while they are the same game, they did have different feature sets, and this basically combines, in my opinion, the best of what the Sega Titan Video cart did with the Sega Saturn version of the game. And this is definitely my new preferred way to play, because while a lot of the modern ports have some HD visuals going on and some little improvements there, honestly, I love the look and presentation style of the Saturn original, and now with the extra patch, there's so many other ways to play this game. Changing up the scoring mechanics and having that chain going on like Ikaruga is going to bring a lot of life to this game for Sega Saturn players. It's basically just combining every awesome feature in every different version of Radiant Silvergun and backporting it into the Sega Saturn original, which is just an absolute ton of fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend, and that's why it's so awesome that the fan community does stuff like this. There was no real need to be able to play the Sega Saturn version of the game with all these features, but somebody out there just decided that they wanted to do it, and now we all get to reap the benefits of that. But again, Radiant Silvergun is not a game for everyone. It is absolutely mind-bendingly hard, and I really do love that, even if the gameplay on offer in this video is me not having really sat down and played the game seriously for over a year. And the best part is, with the level select, you can kind of jump around in the game and practice different stages, which is going to be super important and fun, because if you really want to learn a game like this, you have to do the same stage over and over again, trying to learn everything going on. And as far as the in-engine cutscenes are concerned as well, they look spectacular on the core. They look great on real Sega Saturn hardware. You really can't go wrong with these sort of things. So again, for those Saru users out there, I did pop it on and test it, and it was 100% working, good to go. So if you want to go that route, you definitely can. But that's the great thing about MiSTer FPGA and these fan mod projects in general. They're just giving you a new fun way to play things that you remember from back in the day. And again, if you actually want to buy a copy of this game, it is mind-bendingly expensive these days, but that makes total sense. This is just an absolute classic. If you know shmups and you know Sega Saturn, you absolutely know what Radiant Silvergun is, even if you've never played it before. And honestly, Radiant Silvergun versus Ikaruga, in my opinion, I've always preferred Radiant Silvergun better. Ikaruga with the color change mechanic just 100% breaks my brain, although I do admit it is a very fun, very accomplished game. So you can tell me down below, Radiant Silvergun or Ikaruga, if you had to get rid of one, which one would you keep and which one would you send to the bin? But this is just a fun time. This is an awesome fan patch running on a MiSTer FPGA Core, two amazing creators making things for Sega Saturn fans, and when that happens, the fan base wins. As we take a look a little bit further into the game here, again, this is just such a fun time. The bosses are so complex. There's so many different mechanics going on at the exact same time. Radiant Silvergun is just a Hall of Fame level good shmup, and now with all the new bonus features, the scoring mechanics, the gameplay change, the ability to be invincible, a level select, and all these other fun patch things here with Radiant Silvergun Extra, now's never been a better time to pick this game up and play it for the first time or play it for the 10th time. I'll leave a link to the maker site below where you can grab the patches. It's very easy to install. Just read the readme and you should be totally fine. But short of that, Radiant Silvergun Extra is here. It's a 10 out of 10 fun fan mod to a 10 out of 10 fun and challenging shmup, and honestly, that is just so awesome. If you have any questions or comments, so leave them down below and tell me if you've already played this game, what your opinion of it is with the new patch. I would be curious. But short of that, we are done. We're going to move on to the next level, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.